Hello, we're excited to show you some new features in GearConnect today, the cable inventory and some new report options. Let's get started with the cable inventory. From the Manager menu, Cable Inventory Manager, and you can see these are some cables that I've already created. You have length, unit, connector, if it's the default cable for new connections, and I can even add inventory SKUs and track quantities. To add a new cable, just click on Add Cable, give it a length, select a connector, and give it a quantity. You can see I've now added one, and I can even give it my own SKU. So when you assign a default, it'll use that for new connections. So in this case, I have my 15-foot set as my default. So when I draw a new connection, you can see it's telling me that inventory is running low. If I add another one, I now have to restock. And if I add one more, it'll tell me that I'm out and I cannot do that. So you can see that it'll let me still draw the connection, but it won't actually apply the cable. And you can see this by hovering over the connection. You can see here it says cable unassigned, but the other two will actually show 15 feet. To assign a different cable, I could just right click, assign cable. Let's say I'll choose my 5-foot. Now my 5-foot is assigned. I didn't get any warnings because I have plenty of stock. I could then change it again or remove it if I wanted to. You can see here, I no longer have any remaining quantity left. So I could either increase this, or I could start using a different cable and select a different default. You can have a default per connection type. So if I change this to EtherCon, I can now set that as a default as well. And so if I draw an EtherCon connection, it'll use that one. And if I draw an RJ45, it'll use the other one. You can see I only can have one RJ45 at a time, but same rule applies if I apply a second one to EtherCon. I can only have one EtherCon at a time, and this makes it very easy to know which cable you're about to apply when you're creating new connections. When I'm done, I can click Cable Report, and this will take me to the Reports feature, and this will actually generate a brand new report with all the information that I need to quickly just print this out if I need to. I can see my cables used, I can see my cables remaining, and any of my SKUs. One of the new features in this update is additional reports and report templates. So for example, Port Report and Connection Report are two new template options that you have available on Gear. So let's say I create a connection report. And from here, I can actually assign cables. So let's say I wanted to assign this cable to my EtherCon 75. And it lets me do that because it knows that RJ45 on the other side of this is an EtherCon. And so it lets me do that. If this was, say, an XLR or something, it wouldn't let me do that. So it has that validation built in right when you're doing it. You can bulk apply as well. Say I wanted to copy this, and these wanted to be 5 feet as well. I can very easily copy and paste. And then I have the full power of reports at my disposal. So let's take a look at some of those new features. To start, we have a new group by, so you can actually choose how this report is generated and how it's grouped, and this applies to all types of reports, gear, ports, or connection reports. So by default, this will group by gear item, but I can change that to connector, change it to cable, or I could even change it to cable length. Now let's say I want to see all the different connections across my project. I want to see all the connections that I've used, and I haven't assigned cables just yet. That's no problem, because now we can actually use this Choose Columns feature. This was available before, but it was a little bit hidden, so we've made it quite a bit more obvious on how to access it. And let's disable all these extra columns, except for this new total connectors. And so this will now add up all the different times that, in this case, an RJ45 connection is used. But as you can see, there's a lot of duplicates because I've hidden all the other unique items. We can just do hide duplicate rows. And now we have a nice clean report that we can export and print out how we choose. You can add additional information. I could go back in and I can add labels. And you can see it will only show me things that are not duplicated. If I turn that off, I now get all of my connections. So you can see reports is a very powerful tool to be able to customize and create whatever you want and generate those reports and be able to send them to third-party systems. So for example, the cable inventory count, we have all of our inventory SKUs. I could export this to a CSV and import it into another system in order to generate a bill of materials or a pack list or anything like that. Or you could, of course, just print this out as is and get a quick little cable inventory report right away. So this has been a quick look at the new cable inventory and report features. It's available for pro users today, and you can get started at gearconnect.ca. Thank you very much.